250 years ago, in 1776, the founders of this country came together and they signed a document. That document we now know as the U.S. Constitution. Prior to that, the law, as it were, was a document called the Articles of Confederacy. You may or may not be familiar with that because the Articles of Confederacy is what the sovereign citizens tend to use for law because they were law, but they're no longer law because the Constitution is what's called a superseding document. And that is what we go by today. The framers had a different idea, though. You may have heard the phrase that men in blue jeans built this country and men in suits are destroying it. I agree with that 100,000%. Because the framers of the Constitution didn't want the wealthy or the elites to serve in Congress or to be presidents. They wanted the average guy. They wanted the person that represented the majority of the voters to be the president or to be members of Congress. Why, you might ask? Because these people knew what life in America was like firsthand. They were working the farms. They were walking the streets. They were building the products. I mean, actually doing the hard work of the manufacturing, not the CEOs who became an elite class and through their wealth became totally disconnected with the rest of the country. It's just like the plantation owners. They didn't go out and work the fields. They didn't even go out and visit the fields. They hired men to keep an eye on the slaves working in the plantation. They didn't go out there and do it themselves. Every now and again, maybe. But by and large, not on a daily basis. What they got concerned with was what they called civilized society. It was part of that Anglo-Saxon, English, British training. They became socialites, where their biggest concern was investing in things, making more money, and attending the swankiest parties. Did you not know that it was not the white women, the mothers of the children, that were feeding them, dressing them, caring for them, washing them? No, they were too busy primping and partying and playing socialite and having high tea. It was the black mammies who were breastfeeding these children. The wealthy became disconnected. And the class and racial inequality happened in this country that separated us. And because of that wealth, they started to buy their way into politics. And that can be seen all the way up to Citizens United, where the Supreme Court said corporations are people too. No, they are not. They are entities recognized by law, but they are not people. And therefore, since they're not people, they're not entitled to the law generally. The employees of a corporation are, but the corporation as a whole is an entity. So it is not. So they're not allowed free speech. But because of this horrendous ruling, dark money has polluted politics to the degree where the wealthy and the elites are controlling everything. And this cannot stand. This is not what America was founded on. There is a better way for all of us to get the American dream promised us in the preamble of the Constitution. But we need to get involved and we need to act in order to take advantage of that. These are words to grow on.